Good morning, everybody. So right now I'm getting packed up for a little family trip up to my family's land in West Virginia. We've got about 230 acres up there. It's a long way from South Carolina, so we're bringing a lot of stuff. We're staying for a good long while. I'm gonna do a few videos up there as well. I got a couple surprises for the channel that are gonna come out of this trip, which is fun. And gonna do hopefully a little bow hunting up there, and just a good time to get away with the family. And we've got actually another baby on the way, so we're all really excited. So it's going to be a bit of we're taking a lot of stuff, as I'm prone to do, but I'm taking my full meat processing kit, bow hunting stuff, bunch of food. We're trying not to leave. It's pretty far. It's like over an hour round trip to get back and forth to Walmart, so we're just trying to leave with everything we need, and just have a bunch of fun up there. So I'll get everything loaded up, and we're going to be leaving here in a few hours, trying to kind of drive through the night. So hopefully our little baby girl isn't complaining too much while she's in the car. But I'll show the rig once we're loaded up. It's going to be a little bit of a cluster, I believe. I am towing my 20-foot equipment trailer up there with my Titan because I've got a few things I got to bring back. All right, pretty much loaded up. Got a few more things. I zip tied all these lids closed, and it's very, very strapped down. I think it should ride fine. That's actually empty, with the hopes of bringing it back full. Also, greased my axles this morning, checked my tire pressure. I got brand new tires on my truck. Just got the oil changed. Just trying, mitigate any sort of issues on a 500 and something mile trip. But being broken down sucks. Being broken down with your wife and daughter in the car sucks a lot more. What's up, everybody? We're up here, wild and wonderful West Virginia, the land my family's owned for a long time. It's about 230 acres, and it's been my father's side of the family's gathering place for the entire time I've been alive. And it's a beautiful place. I'm gonna put some drone footage in here. Wow. Would you look at that view? So you can take a look at it. But right now, I'm getting this trailer loaded up behind me with a few of the things that I was going to take home. So let's take a look at that. This is the first thing, or one of the things we're going to put on the trailer. It's called a heeled hauler. It's kind of like a little, almost like an off-road golf cart kind of thing. I think it's really old. I don't really know. I know it hasn't run in a really long time. I might think about trying to put it back together, but I also might just put it on Craigslist or Facebook for, $100 and let somebody else toy around with it. But that's the first thing. Here's the second thing we're going to take home. It's an old Gale farm trailer, I think. I'm not really sure. I know we've used it up here long time ago for some firewood, and I think it's just begging for a fresh coat of paint, some new tires, and some deck boards that actually exist. And I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do with it, but I hate to just see it kind of rot away to nothing out here. So what I'm going to do is use this Massey Ferguson 1440V, which we've had up here for a long time. And this is actually the first tractor I ever drove. It's a little 40 horsepower, is a gear driven machine. It's got a loader on it. It's a small machine for this size of acreage, but it certainly is really adequate for a lot of things we ask for it. I've driven this machine quite a bit. When I first bought my big piece of property in South Carolina, the 160 acres I used to own, I came up here and borrowed this for 8 or 9 months, and then brought it back up here to kind of get that whip that property into shape for hunting season before I ended up buying my Coyote. But she's a little dirty, she lives out here in the shed, and the birds like to poop on her, but I bet she fires right up. Gonna let the old girl warm up for a few minutes. Try and figure out how to get this on out of here. All right, that thing's out of there. I think it'll be a lot easier to pull it from the front. I think I might even just put some, but I think I have enough length. I think I'm gonna put the trailer on first and have the tongue pointing this way, and then get that up in line with it. But we'll see. I bet you this thing hasn't moved in 2 decades. All right, we got her out. You can see it a little bit better. It wasn't in 4-wheel drive, which is why I was having a challenge, but once we got in 4-wheel drive, we got it out of there no problem. Now we just gotta figure out how to get it on the trailer, which, thanks to this, shouldn't be too much of a challenge. But we'll get it figured out and see how hard it is. I love figuring problems like this out. It's one of the most fun things about being a man. All right, so it took me kind of a minute to figure out how I was gonna do this, but I think I'm just gonna pick it up and put it on the trailer. I sure do love hydraulic power. Haha, I sure do love when a plan comes together. Maybe not the smoothest thing I've ever done. Oh, Oh, that spare behind me threw me off. I thought one of the tires was off the trailer. Um, but it was pretty much without drama, and it's loaded up. So that's fun. Turns out this thing's pretty light. So what I'm gonna do is keep dragging it over here and then probably just get it positioned in front of the ramps and just kind of push it up with the bucket on the tractor. That might work. We'll see. There's not really like a good, I don't see any good ways to like attach to it with a chain to pick it up, and I don't want to hurt it. What's left of it, I guess. Well, that's pretty much lined up. Let's see if we can't just kind of scooch that thing on there with the tractor. That worked. Just got to get it off the dovetail, I think, but I should have enough room. Both loaded up, just got to strap everything down and make it ready to ride. I'm glad that wasn't too hard. Glad that this thing doesn't weigh very much. I thought it was kind of interesting. It looks like the steering is chain driven, which seems to me to be surprising. I don't know, maybe not. But I'm not sure I'm going to put much effort into this, but we'll see. Definitely going to need new tires. Same with this. I'm excited about this. I think this could be a nice little trailer to have around the property. And, you know, I like making old things look new again. So, should be a lot of fun. Or it'll be a huge pain. We'll see. Probably more fun than pain. You guys want to know about a surprise? All right, let's get these bad boys strapped down. All right. I still got to wrap my chain around my binders over there. Oops. Well, I think this should be okay. I've got several points of contact on this thing, and this thing's super solid. I got to wrap my chains around my binders over here, but I reckon this should ride just fine. Maybe not the prettiest trailer I've ever had, but it's also kind of full of junk for now. We'll see. I don't have very high hopes for this, but who knows? It could be a fun little thing on the farm. I think this trailer will be kind of cool, but we'll see. All right, time to drive over to the house and get the rest of the stuff loaded up. We head out real early tomorrow morning. All right, just getting loaded up here. This may be potentially the ugliest trailer I've ever rigged, which is why I brought like almost every ratchet strap I own. But I tell you what, that ain't going nowhere. What's going on, everybody? We're finally home. Well, I say finally. It was a great trip. West Virginia is a really beautiful, special place to me and my wife, and special to me because of the land my family has there. And actually, my wife used to live in West Virginia for a little while, so it's special to her too. And she really cares for that piece of property up there. It's where she ended up shooting her first deer too, so that's pretty exciting. But everything made the trip well, and now I'm just working on getting the trailer unloaded. And I'm not going to get to these things quite yet, but sometimes you just got to take the opportunity to get a few projects while you can. I've got a few things that are going to take priority over these, but you know, wintertime's coming up. Sometimes there'll be some cold, wet days that aren't as fun to work outside on. So, got a few things to keep me occupied over the next couple of months, and I do think I'm going to end up trying to see if I can get this thing running. This little heeled hauler might be a nice little thing to have around the farm / homestead. I'm not really sure though. We'll see. But here we go. Just getting everything kind of unstrapped or unchained. And now I got to figure out how I'm going to get this off. It should be a little easier with some of the equipment I have here. I already took off the bulk of the little things, the bins and the bow case and things like that. But so let's go ahead and get this figured out and get all this stuff off the trailer, because I need this trailer empty to go grab my tractor, which is done being serviced. Well, this little thing was pretty easy. It's really not very heavy, so all I did was just yank it off the trailer, essentially. It wasn't very hard. I think the way I'm going to move it around for now is go grab a pallet, stick the pallet underneath there, and then pick it up with the forks on my skid steer. But we're going to give that a shot too. I'd say they're long enough. Well, I'd say that worked pretty good. Let's go grab that trailer. The winch line from the last time I used it, I guess, was wound really wonky. So took a little bit of reversing to get it figured out. But I think this will winch it off no problem. All right, trailer's off, and I was able to wind that back up under some tension. So that's really good. All right, so I've got the boards up on the end of that pallet, so I can hopefully get my forks and the tips of my forks underneath them. Let's see if this works. Well, my phone died when I was trying to pick that trailer up, but the boards worked super well, and obviously the 333G has more than enough lift capacity to pick that thing up. So what I'm doing now is kind of getting my shop a little bit more organized. I've kind of thrown a bunch of stuff in it over the past couple of weeks. And then I kind of put these two little things in I guess we could call it cold storage. They're already surrounded by a bunch of junk, as things sometimes can be. So here's that Gale trailer with a bunch of stuff around it. And all this was kind of just on the ground outside of the overhang, and just kind of draped it around. This is this little thing. Doesn't have any rear suspension, which I do remember it rode pretty rough when I was a very young boy. It was running. I think what I'm going to do with this trailer, I think what I'm going to do with this trailer is deck it, put new tires on it, scrape the rust out, or get the rust off, get it painted, and use it as like a good way to haul logs or big amounts of brush around. That's kind of my thought. So should be a neat little project. Should be a good opportunity to break out my little welder and figure out a thing or two about that. And so yeah, it's exciting stuff. Well, everybody, that's pretty much all for this video. Oh look, there's Puppy in the background. And guys, thanks so much for watching. If you're not subscribed, go ahead and press that subscribe button if you think any of this is mildly entertaining, or that I may have something you'd like to see in the future. I do have a lot of good stuff coming, so I'd really appreciate that. And likes and comments go a long way too. It's really fun making the videos, but it's a little bit more fun when they get a good bit of views and attention. I'm gonna keep doing it regardless, but it's been a lot of fun, and I hope you guys can follow along for more, because I got a lot of good stuff planned. So that's all for now. Y'all have a good one.